Okay, he's like, all right, you're good.
So you want to go over bones first?
Yeah.
Okay. What is this? Frontal bone. On top, you have the two parietal bones. In the back, occipital bone.
Okay.
Okay. Temporal bones on the side.
Yeah.
Temporal. You have the maxilla bone, which is, let me get my pointer out.
It's like,
Which is here, maxilla bone. You also have the palatine portion of the maxilla, which is that palate.
Okay.
makes sense.
So this is all maxilla, that's still maxilla, that's still maxilla. You have the mandible, which is the lower jaw. The nasal cavity on top, you have the two nasal bones, which are really small.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Some other small bones, you have the lacrimal bones here on the side. So they're only found right there. Lacrimal bone. Ethmoid bone is found inside here, but you can see it on the outside in a few places. So this top portion, this is called the perpendicular plate. So it's perpendicular with the palate. Okay. The top portion, that's the ethmoid bone. On the bottom, you have the vomer bone. So those two bones meet in the perpendicular plate. So vomer is just a smaller bone that's out here. You also have two small palatine bones at the end of the palate. You also have the sphenoid bone, which some people refer to as the keystone, because pretty much every other bone connects to it, and it's the central portion of the skull. So you can see it mainly from the inside. So see that suture right there?
Yes.
That's everything inside there is sphenoid.
Okay.
Okay, so it kind of looks like a butterfly.
Yeah.
Some structures on the sphenoid. You have the greater wing of the sphenoid, referring to this portion out there.
Okay.
And the lesser wing up here. So greater wing, lesser wing. This is called the sella turcica. It's kind of resembles a saddle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So sella turcica means Turkish saddle. If that helps, because a Turkish saddle raises up on both sides.
Okay.
You probably don't remember that. So I'm pretty sure it's all
the processes.
Yeah, okay.
And then the fissures.
So sphenoid bone, you can also find it under here. So this is the back of that perpendicular plate, right? It's in the nasal cavity. So these are the wings, or not really wings, these are the pterygoid processes of the sphenoid bone.
Which ones?
These four.
Oh, okay.
So you have the medial pterygoid process.
Yeah.
You have the lateral pterygoid process.
Okay.
Some other processes, you have the mastoid process, which that's where the sternocleidomastoid attaches. You have the styloid processes, which are those small guys.
Things. Okay. Like on the mastoid sinuses.
Yeah, just go down the list.
I had problems with that, like all the
Mastoid
temporal
sinus.
bones.
So sinuses real quick. Can you hand me that? I do. So this one shows 3 sinuses. So frontal bone, frontal sinus.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Ethmoid bone is about here, so that's ethmoid sinus, and then sphenoid sinus.
Oh, it has one here.
Yeah.
So frontal, ethmoid, sphenoid.
So they can also
Sphenoid,
ask like bones and stuff off of that one, obviously.
They could.
Because that would be a lot
all
easier
this
than the
is
skull.
bone.
Okay.
So this is the real skull. So inside the mastoid process, you have a cavity. And that's the mastoid sinus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We only have a few skulls that show that, though. This is one of them. Come over here. So, what bone was this?
Maxilla?
Yeah, this is the maxilla. So there's a maxillary cavity. Oh, God. So right in there, that's the maxillary cavity.
Oh, okay.
Cavity?
Or sinus, sorry.
Sinus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Is that all sinuses? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Sutures.
Yeah, so let's do sutures.
And then ethmoid bone.
Okay. So this is the coronal suture. Coronal suture. This is sagittal suture. Sagittal plane. Sagittal suture. On the back, you have the lambdoid suture. Okay. That's the squamous suture.
Okay.
You also have the zygomatic bone. I forgot about that. Zygomatic bone.
Yeah.
So this is zygomatic arch, and you have two processes that meet from two different bones at the zygomatic arch. So the temporal bone and zygomatic bone meet. So this portion right here, that's the zygomatic process of the temporal bone, because
Okay.
it's going towards the zygomatic bone.
Yeah.
This is the zygomatic. So everything from a pointer that way until here, that's the temporal process.
And we have to
of
put
the
that
zygomatic
on
bone.
like.
Yeah,
What is
so
the sticker on that? You can't just say zygomatic process. You have to say like.
of the something.
So wait,
yeah.
this is temporal?
Yeah, this is the temporal process of the
Okay.
zygomatic bone.
Okay.
This is the zygomatic process of the
So it ends about where the mandible like.
It ends right here.
Okay.
So you
Okay.
can see that suture.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. This is the external auditory meatus.
Yeah.
That's your
Where's
ear-
the inner?
ear canal?
I
So
could
that's
not
the
find
external. The internal is right here.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So your three ear ossicles, the malleus, incus, and stapes, they're inside this
Oh.
portion. So this is another term you need to know. So this is all temporal bone right there.
Huh.
So there's the squamous portion of the temporal bone, which means flat. So,
Right.
and there's the petrous portion, which is here. Petrous means rocky. So think of it like a mountain range going through your skull. What else? There's the
Can you do the back? Like where the.
yeah, okay.
all that.
Confusing.
So foramen magnum, it's a pretty easy one. It's where your spinal cord connects, your spinal cord goes through there. It's your occipital condyles, occipital bone, these are condyles. So that's where the atlas articulates. So that's the first vertebrae articulates. This is the occipital prominence, yeah, occipital prominence. These lines right there, they're not really lines,
They're the.
but those are the nuchal lines.
Okay, yeah.
Nuchal. Okay, nuchal lines. So this region, nuchal lines.
Let me see.
I think that's all those. Okay,
The carotid canal and
Yeah.
the jugular foramen.
so can you see that? I'm gonna find the skull. That works. Okay. I don't like this one. It's like a 20-minute view. Okay. Oh, this won't work. Okay. So that big cavity right there, that's the jugular foramen.
Oh, okay.
See that?
Oh.
So it's a huge vein then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the jugular.
Yeah.
And then
I know it's
Shows
that
you.
big
this,
though.
and the cavity anterior to it right there, that's the carotid canal, or the carotid
So
artery.
carotid and then jugular.
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 Okay.
So on the inside, you can. So that's the jugular foramen, and then carotid canal comes out through there.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Up here, so this is part of the ethmoid bone.
Yeah.
The very top part of the ethmoid bone. This is known as the cribriform plate.
Okay.
And see all those holes in there? Those are called the olfactory foramina.
Oh. Okay. Makes sense.
This structure up there on the cribriform plate of the ethmoid, that's called the crista galli,
Okay.
which means crest of a rooster, like Gallo. and-
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
So it looks like, the tuft on top of the rooster.
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense.
That may help you, I don't know. What else am I forgetting? Let's see.
the-
Supra and infraorbital
Well,
foramen.
yeah, orbital lateral plates, the nasal coaci.
That's close. Okay, let's go
Whatever.
over the, let's go over the nasal
Concave.
concha.
Concho.
Okay. So you have three. So this shows them. This is the superior nasal concha, middle nasal concha, inferior nasal concha. So between the where my pointer is, that's where the ethmoid bone and the maxilla meet.
Oh.
So these top two nasal concha, those two, those are only found on the ethmoid bone. This one is on the maxilla. So, and you can see them in here. So this is the inferior nasal concha.
Oh, yeah.
That's the
okay.
middle nasal concha, and you can't see the superior.
Superior one. Okay.
Yeah, but those are just covered with olfactory tissue. So the longer nose you have, the better you can smell because there's more of those concha. So
okay.
Yeah.
dogs have the long
Have huge
snouts.
ones. Yeah. Okay.
So
Did we go over all the maxillary bones
yeah, so
of the?
let me go back to this.
That was the T. That's just right here.
Yeah, so see these bumps right there?
Uh huh.
That's the the tooth socket, that's called the alveolar processes or
Okay.
margin of the maxilla.
And then the palatine.
Yeah, and the palatine portion.
Oh, that's right. Is that? Is the palate? Yeah.
So the mandible, we can go over that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So it's the main body of the mandible. That's the ramus of the mandible.
Okay.
You have the coronoid process,
Okay.
and the mandibular process.
Okay.
This is the mental region, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have the mental foramen.
Okay.
This is the mental symphysis, where you have the pubic symphysis. The pubic bones
Oh,
come
they
together.
Yeah.
that makes sense. Okay.
Same terminology, mental symphysis. On the back there, you have the mandibular foramen.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
And the condyle is just at the top of the.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine. That's
Those are
condyle.
condyles.
Mandibular fossa is that depression
Okay.
where the mandible comes in contact with the skull.
Okay.
What else?
And then that's infraorbital foramen and notch.
Yeah. So maybe this will show better. Yeah, a little bit. So see those?
Yeah.
It's a supraorbital foramen.
Do veins come out of there, or what? What is?
Yeah, veins.
Okay. Can you feel them, or are they like? It's
You
weird to
might
think that they're
feel
like
them, too.
right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Infraorbital foramen.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the orbit, of course. Your optic nerve goes through there. It's the optic canal.
Okay.
That hole back there. And these are your orbital fissures. Those cracks in the back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Superciliary arches. It's just the brow arch. Your glabella is this region.
Okay.
So you have the anterior, middle, and posterior cranial fossas. So it's just referring to, this is the anterior cranial fossa, this is the middle cranial fossa, that's the posterior cranial
Oh,
fossa.
Okay.
Posterior,
Middle.
anterior.
Okay.
What else is there? So we've gone with that.
Oh, the teeth fall to it.
Yeah, we can go with these.
Sweet.
So you have 4 incisors. Let's do this guy. So your front 2 teeth are incisors, but also the teeth next to those are incisors. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Then you have your canines next to them. Those are the pointy teeth. Then you have a couple premolars. Those 2 are premolars, and those 2 are premolars.
Okay.
They're flat.
Yeah.
They're flattened like the molars, but they're not as big.
Okay.
Okay.
Then you have either 2 or 3 molars, depending on age.
Okay. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
Those would
sounds
be a
like
lot
that's
worse
all-
than that. I forgot the word like on each.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
incisor, canine, premolar, molar. Fetal skull.
Oh yeah.
13 minutes.
Hey, worth every second.
Yeah, so on the fetal skull, what you want to know are the fontanelles. You have 4. So this is the anterior or frontal fontanelle. That's the main soft spot on the baby's head.
Oh, okay.
It's just all cartilage, so the bones are fusing slowly.
Okay.
Here you have the posterior fontanelle, or occipital fontanelle. This is the anterolateral or the sphenoid fontanelle. This is the posterolateral or the mastoid fontanelle.
Okay.
That's all I need to know on this guy.
All right.
Yeah, the sinuses.
We already did that.
We already did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Wow.
Okay.
I think that's it,
Cool.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.